R2, another Moon Monday is upon us. How are you feeling this week?
I'm great, man. I was getting pumped up for that solo there, but you cut it off right before. That's all right. I am doing great. It's Monday. It's always fun to be up here doing the Moon Mondays. Obviously, we had a really big announcement that we have made some really serious progress on all of the stuff that we've been working on, all to do with the game, being able to get you guys set up, and so that we can start getting the first iteration of things going. But it's also been a great week, actually, just in the community. A lot of the fun stuff that we've been doing, and we're really excited to talk about all of that stuff. How are you doing, Free Market?
I'm doing fabulous. Huge announcement that we made today, and big week coming up.
Yes, absolutely. I want to give everyone a heads up too. We are recording this space on the back end. The Twitter won't say that it's recorded, but I will give it the visual treatment as we've been trying to do and put it up on YouTube for you guys to watch. If you have to leave early or you're not going to hear this if you show up late, but I'll remind everyone after. So that's going to be great too, and we're going to try and get all of the media stuff that we're doing recorded, so that you guys can refer to it. You can show your friends it if you feel like sharing the Star Wolves love out there. And we always love welcoming new people into the pack. That's part of the reason why we're up here on Twitter. But also, it is a community spaces, and if any of you feel so inclined to come up during the show, all you got to do is raise your hand, and feel free to come hang out with us, ask questions, talk, chat, whatever you guys want to do. That's what we're here for. I also want to remind everybody that as we usually do on Moon Mondays, we have a giveaway. And of course, we'll be giving a Star Wolf away from the community wallet. I've put it up at the top. I believe Free Market refers to that spot up there as the Zest. And yeah, we've got a emoji VR goggles up for grabs today. Pretty nice looking wolf there, and that's going to go to a good home by the end of the show. Of course, just retweet it, maybe tag a couple friends that you think should check us out, and we'll see where it goes from there.
Damn, people always ask me what my favorite trait is, and I tell them it is those emoji goggles. And boy, this is a nice wolf being given away today. Super pumped for that. Another reminder, this Thursday we will be having another one of our terrestrial Thursday spaces that are play and own focus. We had such a great one last week with Ames from the Lab Game, Beth Jezos from Eternal Elves, Choco Mate from Xverse. So thank you guys for coming and listening to that. It was such a great discussion, especially at a time when a lot of the memes, a lot of the chatter is that P2E is dead. Well, I think we went over that a lot in the Thursday space and explained why we only not think that is the case. We believe May is the month of play. So we are looking forward to that.
Ooh, I like that. May is the month of play. Well, you said a couple of things there, and maybe we should just go over it real quickly. Kind of give them the TLDR of that spaces, because it was a lot of fun. We had some great guests on there. They were very knowledgeable. But you said play and own. Do you want to talk a little bit about our encouraged rebranding of the standard P2E term that gets thrown out there a lot?
Well, this is a push that I have been seeing now around the industry to kind of change this term. And the reason is obviously when you present something as play to earn, it makes the goal earning. And that's very linear in regards to how staking and on chain games work. And the problem with something being linear is it's very easy to see the end. And efficient players, maximum play, they're going to take advantage of this. And it's one reason why most of these games have not done well over time and why they have these incredible initial hype cycles but end up floundering. And I think as on chain gaming and what we're now referring to as play and own becomes big and part of the mainstream lexicon, we need to sell it correctly. We need to frame it in a way that makes sense to people. And the most important aspect currently, and these things will change, but the most important aspect of on chain gaming right now is ownership. It's ownership of your digital assets. It's very profound. It's an angle in which small teams can attack and be successful at going after very large gaming companies. And it's a way that people who have been gaming for years can actually benefit from the assets that they use.
Yeah, I think it's such an important dynamic that we continue to kind of push for a change and reframe how we're looking at these games. Right, at the end of the day, it's about having fun and being able to own some of the assets surrounding the game that you're playing, rather than at the end of the day buying it from one of these big corporations or big gaming companies. And in the terms and conditions, they still own it, right? And one of the big movements that we're all looking for, I think, is to shift that dynamic in a big way. And it seems like most people that we talk to in the industry and we're networking with, we're consulting with, and just chatting with in general, seem to be of the same frame of mind that this P2E conversation has maybe gone a little bit too far, and that we need to kind of give it a new rebranding so that it's a little bit more easy to understand. So I think we personally felt like play and own is the term that is worthy of being the successor, really.
I actually thought it should be play to own, but I think that it was Poof over at Ether Orcs that actually added the nuance of play and own. And I think that's important because in order for these games to be successful, you have to have people to play for reasons other than earning. And that is what the and implies is that, your value prop here is you don't have to pay for the game. You have to pay for the character. And you have to acquire skins and cosmetics and advantages within the game that you actually own. I mean, Ether Arcs is a great example. These are all tradable assets. Every item you own in there, and if you don't need that item, you can trade it for something else or for ETH. And this is profound. This is why I think changing how we talk about it, play and own, is going to go a long way in selling this to the public. So great conversation we had. We have amazing guests lined up for this week that we will tell you about in the coming days. So remember, that is Thursday. Tune in for that. And now, R2, let's get to today's announcement, which was a big one.
Yeah, for sure. And I am very excited for you guys to hear who we're talking about on Thursday and some of the coming Thursdays too. We've got some really good guests lined up and are waiting in the wings to talk all things P and O. Um, Moon Monday has come. Charlie put out the announcement in the Discord right now. And I think people are getting pretty hyped about it. If you haven't yet, Free Market, can you find that tweet from Star Wolves and put it up at the top? That would have been a good thing for me to do right from the onset of this Twitter Spaces. But I'm still learning. I'm still a noob at the Spaces. But let's kind of break it down. Number one is stockpile resources early by completing objectives. You'll be able to show off your beautiful squads in all their glory. Claim unique usernames before anyone else, and this is all going into the final testing this week. As was mentioned in the Discord, we will, as promised, be offering up spots to our beloved Genesis holders, and of course some of the bigger holders or more active users within the Discord to maybe get first crack at jumping in there, checking out some of the functionality, and giving us their honest feedback as to are we on the right path? What do you guys want to see? Because once you put this stuff down and it shows up on the screen and people start clicking buttons, a lot of ideas pop up into their minds. And the whole way that we've been doing this is building out in the open, listening to good, honest, constructive feedback, and taking it into account. We've taken so many great ideas and really worked with them and ran with them, including the community bounty that we gave away 1 ETH last week on this Spaces, and airdropped a whole bunch of Star Wolves to some other runners up of that. That was great. And it really is just tapping into that collective brain power, because there are some incredibly talented people in this in this community, and it's amazing. If you are actually watching the video there, you're gonna see some teasers at the initial dashboard that we're going to be launching, and this will be the first foray into the Web3 gaming universe of Star Wolves. This will be the gateway to starting the soft staking that will be coming up very shortly. You'll be able to complete just simple objectives so that you can, start participating, start earning not only some extra Stardust, but also the neon gold and the space elixir, which kind of powers, all of the processes in the game. And it's just something to help people get engaged, get them re-excited about the game, and help them kind of start to see the finish line there. We had a great team meeting today. I would say that almost all of the UI, all of the pop-ups, all of that stuff has been built out, and now it's just getting, together with the developers and putting our best foot forward and making sure that everything that goes on behind the scenes is built out properly, working great, and we believe that we have an incredible team to do so.
Yeah, absolutely. This is something I'm so pumped for. Like we said, we're rolling this out in phases. We want you guys to be able to visualize your pack, start strategizing, getting ready. We are so pumped for that. Great announcement today.
Oh,
I
sorry.
believe.
Yeah.
No, I believe we were going to talk about the blob. Isn't there a little blob stuff going on?
Yes, that's the other thing that we've got going on. So right now, during today, or sorry, throughout the earlier today, we put our heads together in our own private chat. Started picking through all of the submissions on the name the blob, and we came up with about 10 finalists that we're gonna put out there for the Genesis holders to vote on, and we will finally give Blob the name that he deserves. And you guys put out some hilarious ones. There were definitely a couple of ones that maybe made us think about whether or not we should delete them, and then there were absolutely some that got deleted as you guys pushed the limits of that. But that's okay. Nobody's offended here, but it was quite funny to see some people's imaginations really run with it. But I think that we could probably just announce the names that will be in the final running. Now, keep in mind, this was based on whoever submitted the name first in that Name the Blob channel. In the Discord, when we announce it, we will announce who the name, or sorry, who submitted the name in there. But for the sake of just ease on the Twitter Spaces here, I will just read off the names, and some of them were great. So let me find that list. We had Bloba Fett. Bloba Fett came with a great Photoshop of Boba Fett and the Blob put together. We have Bloblo Escobar, Blobby Schmurda, Blob Ross, McBlobbin, LeBlob James, Blobby Boucher, Blob James Blob, Blob Dylan, Optimus Slime, and of course Ricky Blobby. Some of the ones that you guys came up with there were fantastic, and some of the accompanying memes that were with them were
You didn't
just
even read mine.
perfect.
You didn't
What
even
was
read
yours?
mine. Fred.
Fred? You know what?
Yeah.
I didn't mind just going the complete opposite direction with it and just naming it like Fred. I think some people put Kevin down, but that is unfortunately already taken by the beloved Pixelverse
Yeah,
Kevin.
we don't
So
need to be sued by him. He has a $60 million treasury that he can
yeah, he
at his
probably got some
disposal.
high-powered lawyers.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But we're going to be compiling all that, and of course, with the names of the community member who submitted it first. There were quite a bit of duplicates, and I don't blame you guys. There was a lot to scroll through there because we had so many of them. But that's going to be a lot of fun to watch that go down, and we'll be announcing the winner later this week. You will definitely know what is going down in the Discord when we decide to do that. The other fun thing that we did yesterday is we kicked off our inaugural uh, game Sunday. And you and I were up there. We were chatting with some of the community members, and it was actually a really great time. Do you want to give us a little bit of a sneak on that and what we're going to do in the future?
Sure. Well, we could dive into that. I'll take a quick pause here and wish everyone who is celebrating a happy 420 on the East Coast, as we just struck 420. I'm
Oh, there it
also
is.
going to remind everybody in the room, get up there and retweet the tweet in the Zest to be eligible to win that Star Wolf. And remember, that is my favorite trait. That is a white Star Wolf with my favorite trait. That means you're part of my clan. You're a snow wolf. If you get that wolf, you got to win this wolf. So get up there, retweet that. And yeah, let's talk about game night. We know I am not a gamer, um, but I
In a
got to
traditional
watch
sense, but the
in a
P
traditional
and
sense.
O.
I am a gamer. I've always played poker. I just haven't played, I guess, RPG video games. Would that be what you would call that class of like Fortnite and World of Warcraft and those type of things? Rocket League.
No, you're sort of there. I mean, RPG would be definitely like in the World of Warcraft realm, but
Yeah.
Rocket League would be more of like an action sport kind of game, and then Fortnite would be a battle royale style.
Yeah, so we got to watch, I believe they were playing a game called Apex, which I guess to me, having not played games in 2 decades, looked like Halo a little bit. If you guys remember Halo on the Xbox from back in the day, kind of what it felt like to me. They all had guns, they were trying to kill each other. But boy, the commentary was fun, the guests were great. And we got to talk about a lot of things. It was actually a really good time, and we're going to start doing them pretty regularly, huh?
Yeah, we're going to be running those on Sundays for sure going forward. And we're going to switch it up too. We won't always be playing Apex, but that was just the first game of choice just to kind of try it out, see, what we were doing, how we were going to engage with the community and who was going to be interested. But we talked a lot about doing a poker night. We talked about maybe doing some kind of chess tournament or chess night. I know NVO wants to pit his skills up against anybody, and if you can take NVO down in a chess match, that we'll hook you up with a whitelist spot. But that was really the core focus of it too, was not only just community engagement, but to give away all of the allow lists, that our team and a lot of the Genesis Wolves and people have been, the community outreach team have been pulling in to provide value to the Star Wolves holders, and that's really been ramping up too. And that's one of the functions that we're looking for the game nights on Sundays to accomplish. But again, we always listen to community feedback. We always want you guys to feel like you're a part of the decision making in Star Wolves. So if there's a particular game that you want to play, and we got a couple people that maybe say they want to play, Fortnite, let us know. Give us some heads up, and we'll definitely plan to make that one of the games we center one of those nights around. And of course, we can always jump in and do something impromptu as well. I know a lot of people want to still see me play Elden Ring. I think I bought that about 10 days ago, and I still haven't fired it up. We've been very, very busy, but that's definitely on the docket as well. But we want everybody to feel like they can come, they can play a game. If you want to play Rocket League with me, I would love to be able to do that. If you want to rip some Fortnite, let us know. PUBG or Counter Strike, there's tons of games. I think poker is probably one that's going to be coming up soon, and you're going to have to duke it out with FMC. I don't know if my skills hold up to his, but we'll see if you guys can run good and take down the resident former poker pro, I
I
guess.
lost I lost the kaiju poker tournament in 4 hands. So don't worry, guys.
What were
It
you
happened.
just being like ultra aggressive, or you just shipping it, or you get a bad beat? What happened there?
I
You
I
didn't want
showed
to
up
talk about it
late.
at the time. I
I
checked in
showed
with
up
you. I'm like,
late,
how'd it
so the
go?
I showed up late, so the blinds had already eaten. a good amount of my stack. They dealt me
Oh,
kings, and I got cracked by jacks. So
well, there you go.
there it is.
Sometimes you
Pocket
just
kings
take the
cracked
L.
by pocket jacks. We both went all in, and he spiked a jack.
There it
Joker
is.
poker.
Yeah. Been there more than a few times in my life, and I could totally empathize with that. But yeah, the game nights are really exciting, guys, and that is going to be a core focus of bringing the community together. And you know what? Speaking of games, always a reminder, these games in the Discord, if you are in there and you are playing them, keep in mind they are going to be translated over into the P&O game that we are developing. We even had part of a large conversation this morning about bringing somebody on board. That person has already been chosen and discussed it with. There will be an announcement about that when the time comes. But there will be a shift from all of the stuff that we've had in existence since the Discord has been opened. And if you've been participating in it, it's not for nothing right now. And we'll let you know when the snapshot comes and we start to switch that over into the actual game. But you can continue to play. And we had a crazy lineup of boss fights this morning. I was trying to get stuff done, and it was like literally just nonstop boss fights. I think we probably did about 10 of them before I had to pry myself away from the PC to go do some stuff and make some lunch and whatnot. But you know what? The pack was having a lot of fun. We had a lot of great turnout, and there's definitely still a lot of people that are getting that sweet, sweet XP. So if you're new to Star Wolves and you're just joining us for the first time, you're going into the Discord. Those games don't just exist so that you guys can click some buttons and whatnot. They are going to be there for your benefit and to give you a bit of a little bit of a head start in the game once that launches. And I highly encourage people to go and to continue to participate in that. You don't need to grind. You don't need to spend 20 hours a day in there, trying to get to a certain level or anything like that. But it's always a good community moment when those big boss fights come up and people kind of rally together to try and take them down.
Yeah, absolutely. So fun. And on game night, we were giving away allow lists in those PvPs. It was pretty cool.
Yeah,
Pretty
we had
good stuff.
a lot of experts allow lists that were given away. I gotta find the other list, but yeah, we gave away tons of them. We were giving them away for people doing the PvP battle domes. So we had the finalists going head to head, and Slade gave us some amazing commentary, live commentary of the PvP battles that were going on in the Discord. He did a great job of that too. I couldn't keep up with him in that regard. It's almost like he has been practicing. I'm not sure if that's the case or not, but it kind of seemed like that, if I'm being honest with you.
Somebody hire that man.
Yeah, hey, maybe we will have to bring him into the fold to do more of these. That was awesome. So
Boy, if we had started this show an hour ago, I would have been writing my last will and testament, calling my love. The market was at about as precarious a spot as you could have been. The S&P 500 was literally at the lows of the year, and the way in which it got there indicated that it was going to fall below in a violent manner, and it was dragging ETH down with it below 2800, and then the plunge protection team swooped in with their capes. We have rallied viciously here into the close. ETH is back above 2800. Boy, we were teetering on the edge there. So there's a little market update for everybody here. We've survived the day. Let us see what tomorrow brings.
Yeah, for sure. And if you guys don't know, and if you haven't heard us talk before, Free Market and I do a show every morning, and he gives some pretty incredible analysis of not only Bitcoin, Ethereum, those charts, but the S&P and the Nasdaq, and the macro markets, and kind of tying it all together. And I pretty much let him talk for the better part of 10 minutes about that, and every day I feel like I learn something new. So when FMC starts talking about the markets, the prices, the charts, and all of that stuff, make sure you listen, because this guy is incredible at that stuff.
We're going to see what happens at 6 or 7 p.m. today when Asia wakes up. I think they're actually going to be surprised. When they went to bed, I have a feeling they were thinking the same thing I was, you know, call your loved ones type of thing. And, you know, they're going to wake up to a nice reversal. We're not out of the woods by any mean. That's why I said we have to see what tomorrow brings. I know I'm talking about the S&P a little bit because I think it's driving ETH right now. But if the S&P can get above 4250 in the next couple days with some energy, I think we're going to see a pretty violent short squeeze, which will bring ETH and Bitcoin, you know, Bitcoin above 40K and ETH back to that 3,500 level we were at. So
Well,
good
hey,
start
that's
today. Let's build on it.
that's stuff that we're all tied to, whether we like to or not. Our beloved NFTs, they are priced in ETH, and when ETH goes down, so do the price of NFTs, and vice versa when it goes up. So it's
Well,
important to
I mean,
understand what you're dealing with, and yeah, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, bit of a perfect storm where the Yuga land, which people were debating whether it was going to be a liquidity suck or not. Well, the moment that sale was done, we have seen floors across the board up 20, 30, 50% in some cases, and a lot of the blue chips to be with things like Clonex and Doodles and Azukis and the Beans and the Companions all rallying right now, and it looks pretty bullish for NFT, and that's very interesting because I think given how, if we're going to rate how risky assets are, and we say NFTs are at the riskiest end, you know, they're up there with shit coins and ohm forks and shit, like those would go first. That would be the stuff people would stop selling first, and it really did seem to find support here. I mean, I'm still waiting for when things become healthy enough that crypto can decouple again, because I actually think crypto has some very industry specific bullish catalysts coming up this year, but it ain't escaping a general risk off atmosphere, which is what the bond market is. It's all a bond story right now, as boring as that sounds. I mean, like I said, bond yields, bond yields are up 8.5% this year, even more. The highest they've ever been up on record, 2.5%. It's a special year. So.
Well, I'm just going to be glued to my seat watching and not really knowing what's going on in real time, and I'll just start messaging you, being like, "What am I looking at?" And you'll give me the full breakdown there. um,
And
I,
guys, don't forget, go retweet that up in the Zest. We're going to be giving that away soon. Request if you want to come up and chat about markets, wolves, whatever. I think I said this before at the beginning of the show. I do think we're at a very interesting moment where the Yuga situation felt more like an end than a beginning. And I'm not sitting here
okay.
saying I'm bearish on apes or I think that they're going to be in a long-term downtrend now. I just think that meta, like the PFP, land, metaverse, like that type of thing needs a break. It needs a pause. There was this huge, move and enthusiasm into it. We saw mutants above 40 and all that. So, well, they're cooling off right now. And I actually think they need a month. Things like moonbirds, things like apes, the ape land. I think it needs time to digest everything that happens, frustrate everybody that FOMO'd in and, got ahead of themselves and all that stuff. While that happens, I really think we're going to rotate into another meta. And when people declare something dead, that's when my ears perk up. I mean, I've never been the type of person that likes to go out and buy hype stuff. I like to look for the stuff that people say is dead and then rotate into that before they get there. My best example over the last few years are failing retailers and natural gas. Had you gone back 2 years, I looked like a crazy person for buying those industries, and they have outperformed the Teslas, the Apple, all the hot shit that people buy by 10x. I mean, natural gas. This company, Sandridge Energy, was sitting at $1. It's $18 a share right now in the face of everything you've seen happen over the last 2 years. So that's my philosophy in general. And I think play and own, which has been quote unquote left for dead, whether we're talking about Metroverse, Raid Party, Ether Orcs, or now Star Wolves, I think this is where money is going to rotate. And I am extremely bullish on the prospects here.
Yeah, for sure. It does feel like the I'm just going to say P2E because that's what everybody refers to it as, has reached almost like a max pain point. Raid Party created a lot of buzz, a lot of excitement, and a lot of frustration with the way that they did their Genesis auction, the price of the entrance point into it. It did end up, even after all of the delays, having a month, about a month and a half on the sidelines. It did still have a crazy hype cycle. Confetti was up to, I think it was $44 at its peak, which was just absolutely mind blowing. And then, as you kind of mentioned earlier in the spaces, all of that hype, all of that attention kind of dissipated. It imploded on itself, and then we saw confetti fall all the way down to under $1, and it's since rebounded back then. But, you know, we've been in this point where it does start to feel like max pain. It does start to feel like everybody's saying, well, the jig is up, the party's over. It was fun while it lasted. And I'm not referring to Star Wars, but I am referring to like the greater P2E scene. And you're right. At that point, it does become only a matter of time before you start to see a little hint of life. You start to see some people rotating into that, and then it seems like slowly, then suddenly, these metas come back in vogue, and you have yourself a nice little run. And we've seen that not only with NFTs in the past and all of these different metas that exist within NFTs, but gaming itself also went through that for many, many years. People would say, oh, it's a fad. Oh, it's dead. There was some dark ages. Not a lot of good stuff was coming out. But surely, or, as time went on, that market continued to grow. People continued to move over to it, more participants. It became more socially acceptable. The advent of esports started making it a spectator sport and all of that stuff. And lo and behold, gaming is now one of the biggest industries in the entire world. And it really is a global community surrounding it. So it's hard for me to ever believe that, gaming, when it comes to NFTs or the Web3 environment that we are participating in, can ever get to the point where it's dead. The concept of gaming, the utility of gaming, the community that forms around gaming, to me, is just way too strong to ever truly be left for dead. And yeah, I wholeheartedly agree with what you said. And the whole time, no matter where the market is, we're going to be here building and delivering on all of the amazing things that we've kind of laid out for you guys.
Yeah, absolutely. And here it is, your final warning. Go retweet that tweet. It's the first one pinned up in the Zest if you haven't already. We have talked about our latest announcement, which again, I am so excited for because it is the dashboard. All right. Anytime I've started one of these games, the visualization of your characters, your strategy, this is so important. It was one of the first things that we wanted to get out, so we're really looking forward to that dashboard. We have our terrestrial Thursday spaces coming up. And I am going to load up the Twitter picker here real quick and get that wolf to somebody, R2.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm gonna let you handle the logistics of it because you were incredibly efficient at it. But I am very excited to see this wolf end up in a new home, and I think it's gonna go to someone good. Are you ready to do that now?
I am ready. And remember,
Mm.
you are going to be a snow wolf. You're going to be part of the pack. I am really looking forward to it. I am pressing the draw now. And there it is. Wow. I know this PFP. Hella snaps. Is that a Crazilla you're wearing right now? A black and white Crazilla? Well, congratulations to you. You have just won a Star Wolf, a snow wolf with the emoji goggles. Congratulations. I see you in the space. You can request come up. We would love to say hi, but since you are here, it does not matter. Just make sure you follow my co-host R2Degen, and he will shoot him a DM, and he will get you all sewn up. R2, another Moon Monday. How you feel?
I feel great. Before we wrap it up, I just want to give a special shout out to Catfish, who put out a tweet for Moon Monday that is highlighting one of the Genesis wolves. I did pin it up to the top. Some of you may have already seen it, but go show him some love, because this is one of the things that I love about the Star Wolves community is they get right into it. They absorb the lore. They create things. We have so many talented people making photoshops of wolves, making animations, animating a lot of the Genesis wolves, some of the traits. Like, this stuff is so cool. And I saw Catfish put this out just before the spaces started, or maybe just after, sometime during the in the last hour. And it's one of the things that just makes me so excited to be anywhere in proximity to this community, because I just think it's fantastic. So go show Catfish some love. He's one of our Genesis holders, and just a truly amazing community member. And yeah, this is what it's all about, guys. So on that note, yeah, for the winner of the Star Wolf, make sure you just reach out to me in a DM. I'll get your address for you. We are going to get that airdropped over to your wallet, and you are the proud new owner of a white wolf. You can be part of FMC's pack there, and that's very exciting. On that note, we are going to wrap this up, guys. If you tuned in late and didn't catch the beginning of the show, don't you worry. We are recording this entire thing. We are going to give it a visual treatment, throw it up on YouTube. We will be posting the link to it as soon as it's up in the Discord. And going forward, we are going to make a very concerted and conscious effort to make sure that everything that we do out in the public or in the Discord, within reason, is has some kind of recording, so that so many people are like, oh, I want to listen to this. Oh, I found that conversation so fascinating. So you asked and we delivered, and we're gonna follow through on that promise as well.
Yeah, absolutely. So thank you, guys. We will see you on Terrestrial Thursday for a great play and own discussion with our guests we'll be announcing.